and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Mandilake Madinsomi, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to everyone who actually checked out my first video, liked and subscribed and became part of this community we are trying to build. Thank you so much for the love and for the support, and a bigger shout out goes to my friends and to my family for pumping me up, guys, and for reminding a girl that the girl got it all. Okay, thank you for the love and for the support, and for sharing with people that you guys know, because your girl your girl's boring. So thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate it, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So yeah, and if you're new just like me, please do hang around till the end of the video, where you're going to like, subscribe, and please tell a friend to do the same thing, and also become part of my YouTube community. Okay, in today's video I just want to talk about university applications. So I titled the video "The Road to Undergrad," and I just want to basically share how I went about to apply for university, what I did, what I had with me ready, just walk you through that process. I did my university applications in 2014. Someone might say that was like so long ago. It's not, because I'd like to believe that. But I've also then applied for a lot of other people after that, and I've applied for my sister, and so I still have a bit of memory about how to apply for university, and I remember what I did, and I just want to share it with you, hoping that I'm going to be helping you when you start with your university applications. Also, all of the best. We pray you get accepted to the one that you really want to, but if it's not that one, it's also life. Wherever you accepted, congratulations. Okay, so let's jump right into it. I wrote a couple of things, so I might just be looking at my notes every now and again, just to remind myself of what I wrote down, and so that I don't talk and babble and bill a lot, but rather just go, stick to my facts. Okay. So first things first, if you're in grade 11 or grade 12 at this point in time, this video is definitely for you. And if you know someone who knows someone that's in grade 11 or grade 12, this video is for you to share the information. So please do that. If you're in grade 11 at this point in time, and you need to have two things set out straight in your life. I want to call it priorities. Priorities is not a good word, but yeah, you need to have two things that you have set in your life at this point in time. Number one would be your goal must be to have really good results for your grade 11, and I'll return to as into why I say that. And number two, you need to have an active email address. So you need to know that this year you are working towards your first impression. Yeah. So you basically are auditioning now, right? And you need to make sure for this audition you are well prepared, you look nice, you smell nice, because we want to establish a good first impression with this university from the word go. You want to impress them. You want them to come back and say, you know what, let's go on a second date. You want them to be like, okay, I want to get to know you more. So your grade 11 results really matter a lot, because it is with these results that you charm the university. Basically, you show them who you are and the potential that you have, and it is with those results that then they decide, okay, do we provisionally say yes to this person? Maybe give the person a second date, because maybe they did not dress all the way through, but they definitely smelled nice, they definitely have good manners and all of that, and let's provisionally accept and see what June presents, and perhaps maybe in June the person's game will be up. So make sure that your grade 11 results will try to blow them, wow them. It must have the X factor, because you really want to set the standard high, and so that by the time you're updating with your grade 12 results, they know your potential, they know what you have and what you can produce. Then secondly, you need to have an email address, right? I am hoping low-key that everyone has an email address by this time, because I know with the new phones, when you need to download things from Google Play or from Apple Store, you actually have to have an email address. So you probably have an email address, but you don't actively use it, or you don't remember how to log into it, you don't remember the password anymore. But it's very important for you to have an email address, and this is what universities are basically going to use to communicate with you after you've put in your application. So you'll be receiving communication via email to say we got your things, we're reviewing your application. You can also go to the university website, but for official things, they will probably upload them or send to you via email. So it's very important that you have an active email address, you remember how to log into it, and you remember the password. And I know a lot of us always, it's the password is the bigger issue. But if you don't have an email address, also it's not a train smash, because it's quite easy to open up an email address. You can go to www.gmail.com, and then you are going to then sign up instead of sign in, and that's how you're going to create your account. And they're going to ask you for a couple of questions, nothing too hectic. My advice to you is if you are setting up a new email address, please keep it short and to be something that you're going to remember. So your initial, your surname, and the year in which you were born, for me, are safer options to go for, or whichever one is shorter between your name and your surname. Please don't have a long email address like Mandy did. My first email address was Mandy Mandilake, and I'm pretty sure the person that had to type that out whenever they're sending me an email was annoyed, because I was annoyed so try to keep it short and to be something that you're going to remember. And I feel like your name and your initial, your surname, and the year in which you were born are always like a safer option. And for your password, I would advise that you use your ID number, and I'll tell you why. So once you get accepted at the University of the Western Cape, but I think this is the same thing across all universities, you will be required to use your ID number to access the university email address that gets assigned to you. So once you get accepted again at university, they give you another email address, and this one is like that one, it like stamps it here that no, you are a university student. Okay, you are in Utseni, baby girl. So because this one, then they're gonna ask you, when you're logging into it, they're going to ask you to use your ID number. And so just to practice remembering your ID number, which I hope by now you know, but okay, you might not be knowing it. But please use your ID number as your password. It's easy. Your ID number, first of all, let's talk about the fact that the ID number is Ilula. It's very easy. Your ID number is quite easy because you know the first 6 digits, so you just have to know just the last bit, 7. Like, I mean, guys, it's not that much. I have 7 sisters and I know almost all their ID numbers. Okay, so please please use your ID number because it's quite easy to remember. And also, if you forget something in your ID number, I mean, like, you can always fall back on your ID and actually see what you missed on it. So I would advise you to use your ID number as your password, and then you're all set for your email address. Moving along, then you will need to then do your research. Research in this context would be going to the university's website and downloading a prospectus, right? And you probably have like 5 options ready with you. 5 I think is safe. 5 universities to choose from, and then visit the university's websites and then download the prospectus. In the prospectus, they outline the different university degrees offered and how you would qualify for it. You know, they give you need a level what for this, you need a level what for maths. It kind of like gives you a guideline of what you should prepare for your final results. And so make sure that you get that ready with you, and then you also check for the APS score that is required for that specific course. The calculation, as far as I know, was to add all your levels for your marks. So like, how do I put this? Like, you add up, you got level 7 for accounting, so you add up that level 7 for accounting, that level 3 for maths, that level 5 for you add all of that up, and then you get a certain number. So when I was applying, that's how I calculated it. But it is quite weird because when I eventually got to university, they had a different number for me, and it did not speak to what I calculated. I was like, okay, really? When do you guys get the extra marks? Because I didn't see them in my results. But I do know universities differ in terms of how they calculate their APS. So I would advise, whilst you're doing your research, you're checking out in the website of the university, how is it calculated? Because honestly, it differs for each and every university. And then thirdly, you are going to need a couple of documents that you will need to attach as you're doing your application online. I would suggest that you have these readily with you before you actually apply. Because I don't know, guys, maybe you guys are different, but this is me. If I want to apply for something, and then midway, they say attach a cover letter, and I don't have one, I close that PC and I return back to it a couple of days later, and I'm not even that interested in it anymore. If I do return to it to begin with, I just get easily demotivated if something asks me for extra information that I have to go dig up somewhere. So it's going to be a copy of your ID, it's going to be a copy of your results from grade 11, and then some courses also require you to have a motivational letter. Not all courses require this, but some do. For instance, I know my sister is studying culinary. My sister's in a culinary school and they were required to have one. So, but at her university, not all courses require a motivational letter. It was just that course. So do your research and you will actually see if a motivational letter is needed or not. And you also need information about someone that you're going to put up as a next of kin. So maybe their number, their name, maybe their ID number. And your relations to them. So have their details also ready with you. And when you're applying and they say attach things, you just like, it flows. I swear that's how you're going to finish that application. And lastly, guys, please apply on time. University applications start in March, end of March, early April. There is absolutely no reason for you to wait to start applying to university after you received umalusi, your grade 12 results. Start on time and start as early as possible. Show the university ukuthi now yes, you really want to be there so that they can actually really take you seriously. Put your name and be one of the first top 300 that applied at that university. Okay, I know I stressed that your grade 11 results have to really look good and really impressive. I mean that. But if they are not the best version of you, because when I look back at my grade 11 results, guys, that was like, applying for a CEO position, but you don't have the experience, not the qualifications. You see, it says 8 years in a certain mining industry. You will see it says you need to have a doctorate, but you still apply. That was me. That was the shot that I shot. I was like, I'm going to go for it. But my grade 11 results weren't that good. They weren't the best, okay? But I still was able to be, accepted on a provisional basis. So please shoot your shot. Okay, if you're in grade 11, please polish your life. But if you're in grade 12, shoot your shot with what you got. Sound like a rap. But anyway, shoot your shot with what you got. You still have a chance to, show off what, guys, you guys haven't actually seen my potential. I can do better. So you can attach you still have a chance of giving them your grade 12 results after your second term. And the final decision is always your umalusi. So you still have time to make up. So if you're not really that confident, be that Mandy that applies for a CEO position, knowing very well lack of experience, lack of education, but still give it a try, baby girl. Guys, please do things on time. COVID has shown us that we don't actually have as much time as we thought we did. And, our normal life of living can be shaken and reshaped overnight. So please do things on time and don't wait for the last minute and be like, no, you know what, I'm going to go beg and be like, waiting list or walk in at the beginning of the year. I know sometimes it's not because people don't do that because they want to. It is out of desperation, but if you can and if you're able to, please start your applications on time. Show the university that, you deserve to have me. Again, moving to those first impressions, I need to leave that first impression so that the person can go home and think about you and wake up the next morning and still think about you and sleep at night and still think about you. So you do that by applying on time and getting your things out there. Thank you so much for hanging around till the end of the video. Please do like and subscribe, and also please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to do the same thing. See See you guys next time. Enjoy.